The story is about one woman and her struggles with depression. So it says, my struggle was speaking up about my depression. Loneliness isn't just sitting in an empty room or a house with no one to talk to. It was about what was going on inside and how I was feeling, and I didn't understand what was going on. I had a lot of physical symptoms of depression. I just didn't recognize them. My skin was dry, my hair was falling out, and I lost a significant amount of weight. I didn't understand the constant noise in my head. And just getting up in the morning and functioning took every ounce of energy. Didn't understand what was happening, and I didn't tell anyone except my best friend. It felt more lonely because I couldn't speak about it because things didn't make sense. This is the title, so there's like separate sections. So this is another portion here. So it's okay to not be okay. Building up the courage to tell people how I was feeling was hard. It's that feeling of not wanting to admit that you're not okay. In a world where we're being told to suck it up, everything will be okay. The reality for me is that it wasn't. Once I started my therapy and could feel I was making progress, one of the first things I wanted to do was tell my colleagues at work. I needed to tell them what had happened. I kept things very top line, but explaining out loud really helped and immediately made me feel less lonely because people knew. And from the moment I began to feel better about myself and found I told another person every week or so. Everyone has been very supportive and no one has treated me any differently. That's really nice. Work it out. Feeling heard makes things so much better. Of course, it's much easier to talk at once you're getting better and getting the support you need, but I wish I could have spoken to people earlier when I was really needed people the most. I'm not ashamed of what happened and I live with it now. On days when it feels the loneliness is creeping in, I realize I haven't spoken to people for a while, or it feels like things have caught up with me. I can recognize I need help. We spend so much time at work and with our colleagues, and I think there's a huge amount we can do to create workplaces and relationships where conversations can happen. I'm the chair of a mental health well-being group at work and want to equip people to be able to have those conversations. In the same way my peers and colleagues looked out for me, I want to look out for my team in return. I feel so much more in control of my well-being as a result of my therapy and want to share what I've learned. If I wake up and feel like it's going to be a difficult day, then I rewrite my to-do list and set new targets that are realistic. That's smart. I know what I'll be able to achieve and what I won't, and I know that my next day will be better. I want my team to know they can do that too. If you feel affected by the context that you read, please get help for the support. There's a helpline. My name is Gabby, and I'm in my early 30s. A milestone birthday made me feel lonely. My experience of loneliness spiraled into depression, but looking back on this period, I can see how talking to people helped my recovery. In 2019, I turned 30. I had the most amazing celebrations. I celebrated with a lot of friends and family over about 5 days, and at the end of it, I remember crying because I felt so loved. I didn't realize, though, at the time, but there was something about reaching that milestone and reflecting on what I perhaps imagined my life would have looked like that contributed to me becoming very unwell. I had a good job and a career, but lots of other things I'd expected just hadn't materialized. I didn't own my own home, I wasn't married or in a relationship, and I didn't have any children. It was the tip of the iceberg. I started to become unwell and things began to spiral. Loneliness was an experience where I could be surrounded by the people that I love or be in a really exciting meeting at work but still feel completely disconnected. Things had built up over the years and by the end of the year I was extremely unwell and had been referred to a mental health service. I think that's really cool. Cool, that's probably not the right word. I think that's really is a really good explanation that you can continue to surround yourself with people and you feel love, but you still are very disconnected. And I feel that way. I think for me, it's mostly feeling disconnected because I know people don't understand and there's such a stigma around mental health and people do treat you differently when they know you have a mental health issue. And it's happened to me. I do tell people, but I tell people that I feel safe with, which isn't very many people. It's usually my close friends. Anyway, so I thought that was a really good discussion about her journey with mental health and trying to get back to feeling healthy.